Namaskar, Adab, Sat Sri Akal, and hello to everyone. Friends, one person, Palvinder Kaurji, she wrote about parents being ruthless. That video which I recorded on request in English. The children must respect their parents, they must obey their parents, they are their gods. So she wrote, and a couple of other people reacted. Most of them liked it. But she mentioned, and she included herself in it, that parents can be extremely ruthless, and in that situation, what a child or a youngster is supposed to do. I had mentioned in one caption that if ruthless stroke step parents, then keep away, just to avoid karmic demotion. Now, if parents are being ruthless, they may be step parents or they may be real parents sometimes. Now, in Gurbani, in Sukhmani Sahib, it comes ke jis sahib so nahi chara tisko kijai sat namaskara. Now, when we say that parents are our creators, it's sad that parents are being ruthless. They are torturing, humiliating the children. They are destroying their future, their life. It's extremely sad, and those parents, such parents, should be ashamed of themselves if they could not look after their children properly and give them love and affection and care. Then they did not have any right to bring those children to this world. It's as simple as that. And if you have brought them, it's their responsibility to look after those children, give them right kind of upbringing and values. Now, why I said that jis sahib so nahi chara? When we say that they are our creators, they are our gods. Now, my own situation, I mentioned in the answer, I replied to Palvinder Kaurji, my father, there were rats and they took away some money. Those days, those 10 rupees notes and 50 rupees notes, a very big size. And they kept somewhere in the house in UP at that time. We used to be in Nighasan. And I was, I think, in 9th. And I was a very naughty child, So they suspected me that I must have stolen. And my father was so ruthless, he hung me upside down. He took me somewhere, there was an empty space, and he tried to torture me like anything. And I kept screaming, pleading, begging, and a lot of people gathered and they saved my life. And my father was very strong, very well built, very short-tempered, aggressive. You can't imagine how much I was tortured. I had to run away from my house. But still, I got back to them. Then there was another phase where I did everything, whatever I could do, but somehow in a phase, they again misbehaved. I can't explain, But I'm trying to tell you because I went through this, and still I tried to do my best for my parents because they are our gods. When we had direct confrontation, I told them, now I'm strong, I have my connections, my resources and everything. But still, even if I defeat you, it won't be victory for me because you are my parents. You're my father, my mother. It can't be a victory for me. Now, if parents are ruthless, parents are misbehaving, parents are torturing the children, they're destroying their future, their lives, I will request, first of all, earlier also I said that such parents should not give birth to children. if they can't be good parents. But what exactly these kind of youngsters should do? In my opinion, like I just left my house. I was on my own, I struggled, and God was kind, destiny helped me. I reached somewhere in my life. You know, instead of confronting them, fighting with them, trying to defeat them, it's better to just avoid them. Just leave them. You can try to have a dialogue, explanation, everything. You can try to understand the point, what is the problem. And sometimes there is no solution. Sometimes there's no solution because they are made like that. They don't want to understand anything, whatever you try to say or try to convince them, and things become more complicated. So in that situation, like if you tried everything, through dialogue, and they refuse to change, because I personally feel that parents have a much bigger responsibility. Children are young, they have their dreams, they have their entire life ahead of them, and they have some sort of liberty to some extent. As long as they don't insult their parents, they don't hurt their parents, they have, a bit of liberty. Parents must understand that. And if parents refuse to understand that and they are, hell-bent to destroy their future, or they're being ruthless, I have a lot of complaints like that. People keep writing to me. Those parents should be ashamed of themselves. They'll go to hell, and they are being self-destructive. They are destroying their own future, their own future generation. And they may not be aware what will happen to them in old age, because then they won't be that strong. Then they'll be dependent. I know one criminal type of guy, and he realized this because he used to torture everybody. You just mention a thing, a wrong thing, he has done it. And he used to torture his children. And one day he understood this, that now he's getting old. And in old age, the children are going to give him hell. So he started behaving very well with those children. So one day I was talking to him, and he himself told me that I've understood this because I'll be old after a few years, and these kids will be very strong and young, and they might bash me up every day now and then. So I'm keeping them happy. I'm being a great father for them so that they don't attack me. Now, a criminal kind of guy who is not very highly educated, he understands this. I hope our so-called intelligent and well-settled, well-educated parents should also understand this. If you look at it from karmic angle, that's why I put one caption that, you avoid confrontation to avoid, karmic demotion. Just leave them. If we confront them, we fight with them. Basically, if you look at destiny, karma, prarabdha, then it's all your own deeds. Sometimes a young son dies. According to religion, religious scriptures, that he came to settle some score, because these guys who are parents now, they must have given him a big grief, a big jolt. They must have hurt him very badly. Now he came this way, a very loving young boy, and suddenly he dies. It breaks the parents, So it's basically, whatever is happening, it has something to do with your past life, your karma. I earlier also mentioned somewhere that sometimes, somebody is very nice to you, and sometimes you see somebody and you just dislike. You resent that person. You don't want to be associated or be in the same room. And sometimes you come across someone and you like that person instantly. As far I'm concerned, I have such I used to wonder about my friends, like I mentioned about Mr. Balwant Singh. He lives in New York, and there's one gentleman, he lives in Muktasar Sahib, Jai Gopal Goyal. I used to wonder about these two guys, a very different kind of relationship with them, very strong bond. I did not know them from childhood, but when those powers communicated with me, and at one stage they disclosed who was that person and who was this person in Muktasar, I had past life association and very close association with them. They were very close friends of me, and that's why even in this life we met somehow, and we have a very strong bond, no questions asked. Similarly, if your parents are torturing or being ruthless to you, like earlier one day I put one video here. Most people don't watch all the videos, otherwise you'll get your answers. We call it Jnani or Agyani. A person with wisdom and person without wisdom. How they take the punishment. So you can watch this video, you'll get the answer. It's basically our ignorance that we keep fighting and we keep complaining and cribbing, screaming, raving, ranting, shouting. It's ignorance. Now, these are stages. If you reach that higher level, you'll stop reacting. You'll start accepting. But the problem is that we cannot reach that level. We are on a very lower level. In spiritualism I'm talking. And that's why the problem is that we can't take it. We get upset and we want to give it back to them. We want to confront, we want to fight for our rights. And we curse our parents and we do whatever we can do. We give the befitting reply to them. That's what I guessed, I judged from that. We must have harmed them in our previous life. So clear your accounts. If you retaliate, you fight with them, you are getting entangled and you're not letting your accounts cleared. So whatever score is there, let it get cleared. Let them misbehave. You can have a dialogue, sit with them, try all kind of things with them to come to a level where you bring the peace between you. But in case, it's not that if some parent is behaving like that, suppose some parents are behaving like this, ruthlessly, they're also helpless. Our past karma, our destiny and the prarabdha, they say, that prarabdha guides us, controls our thoughts. Even if we understand, we want to be nice to that person, but something goes wrong, we can't understand what went wrong. By the time we realize, the damage is done. So you should try to analyze it, try to understand it, and if I make any sense, then either take it, do meditation, chant thy name, Lord's name, do part, and it will help you, it will give you the strength, it will give you the courage to face it, to take it, And if you can't do it, then you avoid them, keep away. Like I gave my example that I left my house because I could not change my father, and it was difficult for me to change myself. I tried to change to quite an extent, but he was, like one person was saying, that was rude of me because my father never went to the school. So sometimes people have wisdom even if they didn't go to school, but he was too aggressive and controlling. You could not talk to him logically. So I thought that he is required in my family because he is the sole bread earner. So I should leave. So that's a long story. I mean, I don't want to go into that. One day when I share my life story, again, for lessons, what I learned and what others can learn from my life story, I will be sharing it eventually. So I left that house and there was a peace. At least when I was gone, those confrontation, those fights stopped. There were other problems, that's a different story altogether because of my other brothers. So similarly here, I'm just trying to explain that if you can understand, if you try to forgive and forget. If you forgive and forget, not for their sake, for your own sake. It's like somebody is drowning with anger, with jealousy, with all kind of problems and complaints and whatever complexes that person has in his or her mind. They're drowning with that weight, that baggage. And if we retaliate, we want to settle this score, that means we have put a kind of hook. A person is going down and we are hooked to that person. So if we don't take out the hook, we will also drown with that person. So we have to forgive and forget, not for that person's sake who's drowning. We have to forgive and forget means we take out the hook for our sake, our own self, to save ourselves from drowning in that fight, in that anger, in that grief, in that jealousy, in that conflict, whatever it is. Save your energy, save yourself, and use that energy in a constructive manner on meditation, on satsang, on chanting Lord's name, doing part of Gurbani, listening to Gurbani. I know it's easier said than done. It will be very difficult because again and again those thoughts come. Again, that is your previous karma, your destiny and your prarabdha. That will try to control you and entangle you in that. Now this is the intelligence and wisdom. Lord is making me a tool, a medium. I'm trying to share this with you so that if you understand, and if anybody understands this and tries to do this and succeeds in it, that means this message was for that person. It came from the Lord. I'm just a mediator, a medium. I hope some people understood this, who are suffering, who are burning with anger and anguish. It will burn you. What is anger? It's like we punish ourselves for somebody else's mistake. Somebody else is wrong and we are punishing. We are boiling our blood. We are using filthy language. We are going crazy. We are being restless. And it can get violent. Then the police station and the courts. So how much energy you have wasted. You could use the same energy in a most constructive manner, on the best things in your life. So accept it, that it must be your previous karma. You must have done wrong or harmed them, and that's why they're misbehaving, they're harming you. And if you look at it, they're your parents. Today you are able to fight with them because they brought you to this world. They taught you, they looked after you. They're your parents, they're your gods. So we can't fight with our God. I could not. Other people may be different, I may be different, but I could not fight with my gods, with my creators. Even if I had every power in the world and I could defeat them in that, when you are one-to-one, you want to show your power, they wanted to show their. Even then, I would not have been a winner. Victory with whom? So my humble request is just buy peace at any cost if you can. accept that it's your previous karma, your prarabdha and your destiny. That's why they're behaving. Otherwise, why somebody should behave like that? You must have done something to them terrible. If you go in past life regression, you will see what you have done to your parents. That's why they're being ruthless to you. It's all hisab kitab. It's all karma. That's why it happens. But suppose it doesn't work out in any other way, then the last result is buy peace, keep away, just avoid them, leave them, find some other alternative, peaceful alternative, so that you don't spoil your karma further. If you start fighting with them and again complicating things much more than they are already, then you are spoiling your own karma. And that's why the people who have wisdom, who realize souls, who become one with Lord, they never react, they never retaliate. They just say, Sab Govind hai. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj said, Kisnu kahiye Nanaka, sab kich aape aap. Kisse kya kahe bhai? Everything, wherever I see, wherever I look, is him only. So the person who is accusing, abusing, attacking, that is also him, Almighty God. And the person who is being attacked, he is also God. He is also part of God. So is his khela. I hope I tried my best with my limited ability, with the blessing of the Lord, to make some sense, to make my point very clear. The best way is just leave them, because by entangling, by fighting, by giving them back, it won't serve any purpose. You'll make the matter further complicated, and eventually it will spoil your own karma. It will demote you, because when we go further in next birth, according to our karma, we are promoted or demoted. So we should do the best thing. Once you understand this, so you look at the promotion, you look at the gods, you don't look at your parents, what they're saying. But Gurbani will help you, God's name will help you. You spend time in Gurdwara, you spend time in meditation, meditate as much as you can, listen to Shabads, avoid that situation. Maybe some people will find it difficult because the circumstances are such that you can't avoid, but still, there's always some sort of, whenever there's a problem, there's a solution to it. And it depends when we find that solution. Sometimes it takes time, but you keep looking for it. I'll be happy if somebody got some answer or some solution out of this talk of mine, and it will be my earning, real earning, if it brings peace in somebody's house or somebody's mind, or someone just decides to either keep away or just accept her destiny and starts living peacefully. Thank you very much, friends. I normally keep trying because she asked this question, and I thought I'll record it in the near future, but God prompted me today only, so I sat down and I thought we should talk about it. Thank you very much. May God bless us all. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.